Well, good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to the Darolyn TV show. I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to tune in. I am going to tag some of my friends and let them know that we are live. You are in for a treat tonight. We are going to be talking about when one wants to leave and the other one says, no, I want you to stay. We're going to deal with that tonight. So go ahead and share the broadcast. If you know somebody, then they are not on Facebook. If you go ahead and tell them they can go to YouTube. They will be able to also see the live broadcast. So go ahead and share the screen. And I'm going to actually let my friends know on my personal page that we're online. And what are we talking about tonight? We are talking about when one wants to leave and the other one wants them to stay. Why are we talking about that? Because it's about love, marriage, and relationships. That's what the show is all about. It's about love. It's about marriage. It's about relationships. So I had the pleasure of already having another guest on previously and found out that it's a little bit deeper than what we thought it was. Good evening. Welcome to the show. Good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the show. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. We've got a wonderful and amazing guest that's actually going to come on. Her name is Deborah Peoples, and she is running for mayor of Fort Worth. So go ahead and share the broadcast. As I am about to get started, let me tell you why I'm so excited about it. Because we're going to need y'all to do some input tonight. So have you ever been in a relationship, right? And you decided that this is not going to work. This is as far as we can go with this. And so if you're a female and you're letting the guy know, you know what? This is not going to work. And then he calling you, blowing up your phone. And he like, no, baby, stay. But that's what we're about to talk about. Why are we going to talk about it? Let me tell you. Because why would a young lady or a young man want to leave a relationship that's supposed to be good? Something ain't right about that. So again, before I get started, for those that don't know me, my name is Darolyn Brock, and I am your host of the Darolyn Brock TV show. Tonight, I've got an amazing guest, Deborah Peoples, and she is going to answer a few questions that we've had the audience to ask about. So give me a moment, and I'm going to tag some of my friends on here. Were you able to on here? Good evening, good evening, good evening. Go ahead. I'm telling y'all definitely don't want to miss this tonight. Definitely don't want to miss this tonight. Let's see here. So I got a chance to talk to a few women. So guys, I just talked to a few women, a little bit more women than men. So what they wanted to know was the women wanted to know, why is it that when men decide that they don't want to be in a relationship anymore, why they don't just say something? Why do they assume that we're supposed to know that when I stop calling you or stop, texting you, then you should know that this relationship is over? Hey guys, it don't work like that. We're talking about relationships and how to get it together, how to make it better, okay? How to make it better. So I'm going to get started with Deborah Peoples. I'm going to introduce you to her. So again, you know what we're talking about, right? So I'm going to need you to comment so we can help some folk, right? So I'm going to introduce you to Deborah Whitlock Peoples. And she is a people person. Everybody that knows her knows that. And if you don't know her, if you ever meet her, you'll know she's just so easily entreated. She learned her value of education by receiving her bachelor's and master's degrees from Texas Women's University in Denton, Texas. She also served as a past president of the Black Alumni Association. She is actually the chair country party. As the chair of the county party, Peoples is responsible for recruiting candidates, holding primary elections, and running coordinated campaigns under Peoples' leadership. Let's see what we got here. She's a frequent guest on political television, radio shows, and in addition, she's a sought-after speaker in the community. Well, you got to know that because I sought after to see if I could get her on this show because I know she's got a wealth of knowledge. So one of the things that she actually did in corporate America, you know what? She was the vice president for a major telecommunications company. Deborah ran for and won the job as chairwoman of the Tarrant County Democratic Party, a post she still holds today after she retired in 2012. I want you to go ahead. Here it is, Chloe. You got to do it on this one right here. I want you to go ahead and put your hands together. If you're in the living room, if you're at work, if you're in a break room, if you're in the bathroom, wherever you are, go ahead and put your hands together as I bring her on.
Good evening.
Well, good evening and welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome.
Well, that was a great introduction, but let me tell you, my most important thing that I didn't have on there, I am a relationship expert, but it's because I've had to go through some things. So I am so excited to be on tonight.
Good. I am going to actually, I've got something I'm going to ask you first, but let me make sure that because my friends are they think I'm on my page and I'm not. So let me get them.
Okay.
It's not on my page. It's not letting me show you. Okay, hold on 1 second.
Okay.
So how was your day today? How was your day?
I had a wonderful day today, but I was so excited because I knew I was coming on here tonight and we were going to talk about something that is near and dear to my heart, and that's relationships. And so the advice we're going to talk about tonight, Dr. Darolyn, applies to a romantic relationship, your relationship with your kids, your relationships with your friends. What I'm going to tell you tonight works wherever you are and in whatever situation you're in.
Okay, so let's talk about this. Why do many single women stay in an unhealthy relationship so long?
It has to do with self-esteem. And this is what I tell everybody. It has to do with how you feel about yourself. And so women, and I'm a woman of a much older generation, but we're conditioned to believe that we need a man. We're conditioned to believe that we need to be in a relationship, we need to be married.
Share.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. And so I think a lot of it has to do with our early conditioning. We think we have to have somebody. And then the other thing is self-esteem. Do you know, I know so many beautiful women who don't feel good about themselves, and so they stay and don't feel good about themselves. Once they realize how powerful they are, then they're ready to go.
Okay, so how do they get to that point? How would they get there?
Well, okay. So, no, I don't think it's age. I think part of it is experience. I think part of it is being surrounded by people who lift you up rather than pulling you down. For example, well, I had a good friend. Her husband was abusive, and when she left her husband and went back home, her mother told her, "You need to go back to your husband. You need to go back and make it work." And so she didn't have people that were supporting her. And then she became surrounded by her girlfriends and others who said, "You deserve better." And once she started thinking, "I do deserve better. I'm a good person. I'm a wonderful person," that she deserved better, then she was ready to move on. But prior to that, she'd been surrounded by people who said, "You need to go back to that man."
Oh, okay. I'm trying to make sure that I get Chloe, one of my plugs is loose. My connection is loose here.
Oh yeah, let's get that connection done because people need to hear this.
Yes, my Chloe. Yeah, my computer here
Is that pretty, Chloe?
It is. It is. This computer is.
That's pretty, Chloe.
It is. Hello. Tell her how way better. It won't. I need to. This I can see me behind.
Hi, pretty Chloe.
Hello, Miss people.
So, but you know, a lot of it, I think, Darolyn, and that's why I think this show is so important. You know, there's an old expression that says, when we know better, we do better. And so we need shows like this talking to people and sharing knowledge, because many times, you know, we've been told, you know, you need wrong. I believe in a relationship, you have to talk and share. But many times, sometimes we're not getting the positive reinforcement that we need to make good decisions.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Why do you think some men take longer to make a commitment to a woman? Maybe they've been dating them for a while or a long time, or 15 years or 30 years. Why do you think that they take a long time to make a commitment to a woman?
Okay, so are you ready for this?
I'm ready. And they're ready. Yes, we're ready.
Because we let them. We let them. You know, we think, you know, we give all the power to the man. And so, unfortunately, that's what we do. We give the power to man. When is he going to ask me for a date? Does he like me? Am I cute enough? And we give away our power. And so all of a sudden we feel like we have to earn this man's love. No, this man needs to be earning your love. You're the prize. And that's what women don't understand. They are the prize. This man, it was your brains, it was your beauty, it was all of this stuff. And we need to start treating ourselves like we are the prize. And so I think men take so long to commit because we give them the power.
So they wine you, they try to wine them, dine them, take you out to eat, give you roses, you know, and then when they get you, then all of a sudden all of that stops.
But that's why you have to let them know that they don't ever really have you.
Say it again.
That's right. Let me know that you're a prize. Yeah. They don't ever really have you. Y'all don't understand. I think women do not know their full potential and their power. And we allow people to make us feel less than. And the reason when we finally start realizing we are all that and a whole bunch more, we start expecting and demanding that people treat us a certain way.
Okay. So
a lot of this experience, you know, I have lived, you know, a long time, and I have been where many of your listeners were probably at some point in their life. You know, I came out of college and thought, I need to be married. You know, all my friends are getting married. I need to be married. If I'm not married, what's wrong with me? And, you know, but that's the way we've been conditioned. Men have been conditioned. Oh, brother, go sow your wild oats. You don't have.
That's right.
Have to settle down. And so, you know, I think it is learning to and I tell somebody, it's deprogramming yourselves. As women, we have to learn to deprogram ourselves and say, it's okay if I don't get married right out of college or right out of high school. Okay, it's okay. It's okay if I take my time. But you know, we have people come up to us and go, girl, you ain't married yet, you ain't got a man, you ain't this. And we make it else and less than, which is so sad.
Okay, so we've got the mindset as a woman that, you know, okay, I need to be married at a certain time, and perhaps if I'm not married at a certain time, I might begin to take less than.
That's right.
A lot to do with it because of that age may have to do with it.
Yeah, I think people settle. I mean, and we say this all the time. I used to say, you know, I don't want to settle. I don't. And so you have So I'll tell you a little trick. Years ago, a friend told me, write down on a piece of paper everything that you want in a man. And I'm not saying, and I told people, not superficial stuff like he got to be good looking, he got to drive a nice car. No, 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 no. You write down the things that matter to you. He has a sense of humor. He treats his whatever, if it's he treats his mother good. He's courteous to people. He's write down the things that when the good looks go away and all that stops. What are the no? We all ain't gonna stay pretty. We all, we gonna put on a little weight. We gonna his hair gonna start falling out. Your hair gonna start turning gray. Write down those things. Yeah. And then she told me fold it up and put it either in your pillow or drawer, but somewhere where you can find. And it was later that I went back. I put it. I forgot about it, and I was moving. And about maybe 6 or 7 years later, I found it, and it said, I want somebody who makes me laugh with me. I want someone who loves and respects my children. I mean, I start going down these things, and I realized that's the person that I'm with. Before, I was worried about he had to be tall, he had to be good looking, he had to dress good, and all those things are superficial. You want to find the stuff that's deep down that's going to make you stay with him for 20, 30, 40 years. Yeah.
After you done gained weight, you done lost your hair, and everything, the curves ain't what they used to be, but you still that same good old night,
that's right.
Still good old heart and everything like that. So let me ask you something else.
Yeah. So
go ahead. Go ahead and finish that.
Now, I was going to tell you, I had good friends, and my friend is beautiful, but over time she had children and she gained weight. And her husband said, now I'll never forget this. He said, when we first started going together, she was fine. She was shaped like a Coca-Cola bottle. She had curves and all the right places. He said, but now, like 25 years and 3 children later, I still like Coke. I still like them Cokes, but I don't need a Coca-Cola bottle. I like the 2-liter now. And I said, you go, brother. That's right. You love it all. He said, give me a 2-liter.
I like that. I really and truly like that, because as a society, we got to remember that relationships affect how you perform in your job, your career, and where you go. How when I was in corporate America, this is a side, but when I was being in corporate America back in the day, we used to have a male supervisor every now and then before I got into management. And if they would come in like cranky and something like that, we would make side jokes, but then we say, I don't know, but him and his wife need to get intimate or something. You know what I'm saying? Because it shows up in your relationship. You bring that stuff to work.
That's right. And and so Darolyn, people say you don't, if you get up and you in a bad mood, it shows on your face. If you're having problems or arguing with your husband or your boyfriend or whoever, and you come to work, you bring that with you. And you're absolutely right. Good relationships mean that your life flows much smoother. So yeah.
So I'm going to segue a little bit, because I think that we need to shift some of this blame. I think we've given the blame or given men a bad name, but why do women blame men for how they were treated in a relationship? Let's deal with that for a minute.
Well, yeah. So let me just tell you, that's a cop-out. Okay,
Thanks.
that is. In a relationship, you get treated the way you allow yourself to be treated. So if you have bad self-esteem, or if you trying to hold on to that brother and he's going out on Saturday night and you're afraid to say something to him, I mean, because you don't want him to go, you got bad self-esteem, so you let him treat you bad to how we feel about ourselves. I was telling somebody the other day, and this was a joke, my daddy used to tell us, don't ever let a man hit you. And he said, I don't care what you do. If a man hits you, he said, you fall on the floor. Whatever you got to do, crawl out of there. Whatever you have to do to get to a payphone and call me, because I'm going to come kill him. And so I grew up, and people still laugh about it. I would tell a man in a minute, my daddy said, don't you hit me, because he gonna come kill you. In my life, because my daddy set that expectation in me.
Yes.
Do not let a man hit you. He used to say, don't let a woman hit you, a chick, a child, you better hit them back. But you know, it's this expectation that what he was telling us is, don't allow yourself to be treated badly. And so that means that's an expectation that I had going into a relationship. And so it's the expectations that we as women set and allow ourselves to be valued and treated.
Okay, because I can remember.
And I think, and you go ahead.
Come on.
No, I was just gonna tell you, and that's why I tell people I don't sit up and bash men. I don't. I don't. I love men. I love men. I love the relationship I'm in. I love my cousins and everybody else, but I'm not gonna let you treat me badly. Okay. And so, and when I don't let you treat me badly, and I know you're treating me like I'm valued, then that gives me room to love you. Even we got to get to that point, because you're not gonna hear me talking about men. I love them.
I think we need to take ownership as women and stop saying what a man, because a man cannot do anything to you unless you allow him to.
Amen.
So we can't, that don't even work. And I know a lot of times women don't want to go there. Oh, he did this and he said this and he stayed out all night and he spent his money and all this kind of stuff. Wait a minute. That's on you. You said something very powerful. Women don't know the power that they carry. We carry the power to decide how we're going to let you treat us. And that's what happens. So you get a lady in a relationship with a guy where he's got a history of that's how he treated a woman. So when he come in contact with you, he's probably going to try to treat you the same way. But if you say, hey, dude, wait a minute, you got the wrong chick here.
That's right. So, Darolyn, I have a very good friend named Ralph, and he used to say, and so you know how they would say about girl, men are like buses. It's one on every corner. And I said, that's what they said about women. He said, no. You go out there, there's one on every corner. And I'm going to tell you, after I started looking at that, see, we think that there's lack. We've been told that there aren't enough Black men. They all in prison. They all here. So we think when we get a man, we got to hold on to him. There are men out there. Listen, I am 68 years old.
Wow, looking good.
And now they like me, but you know, so I'm telling all these young women, I am 68 and there are still single men out there for me. I know there are single men out there for you. Just don't accept the first thing that comes along. And I think about that a lot. When Ralph said, girl, I said, Ralph, that's what they say about women. It's one on every bus stop. He said, no, you watch it. It's a brother out there too on every bus stop. So all I'm saying is we believe in lack. Somebody has told us, Black women, the older you get, the less chance that you're going to meet somebody, or all the good men are in prison or jail, and you ain't going to meet nobody. So the first thing that comes along, we think we have to grab it. No, we don't. What we want to hold on to is someone who makes us feel good, who respects us, who lifts us up, who has similar values. And if you're going to stay out all night, don't come knocking on my door.
Say that. So what do you think about, do you think that in some relationships, do you think in some relationships, men really don't know how to have a good relationship or how to treat a woman as far as when they make a commitment? But there is a way that a woman can say, this is how you talk to me. This is how you handle me. I'm going to sit in this car until you open my door.
That's
I'm gonna
right.
sit here. Okay. You're not gonna call me when you feel like it, and that gentleman, he will either step up to the plate or we might need to let him tell him we see you later. What do you think about that?
Yeah. So hey, and that's it. So I tell everybody, I used to tell everybody, if they didn't open my door, and you don't have to make it a big deal. I say, hey, Bubba, get the door. Or hey, baby, get the door. But it wasn't me fussing or preaching. They said, oh, okay. But if I said it enough, get the door, they got in the habit of saying, let me get the door. And so I think it is what we let people treat us. And you're right. I don't have to tell you, you got to take me to the finest steakhouse all the time and buy me champagne. No. I'm not talking about that. It's just basic courtesies that you expect. And you're right. If you tell me you're going to call me, call me. And now you got text. All you gotta do is say, baby, I'm busy. I'll call you later. But don't leave me sitting out there and you tell me you're gonna do something and then you don't. That's not respecting me or my time. And as women, and you do not about it. You just say, I expect you to call. You said you were gonna call, you didn't call. And then if he comes up with something, that's a signal to you that he doesn't value your time. And if you do that enough, when you call, I'm not gonna answer the phone. and that's hard for us to do. I mean, that's hard for people to do. But what you have to do is set some boundaries. And I will tell you, it took me, okay, I had to learn it. Okay, because I have been has been a prince. There have been some frogs, but I had to learn, how to value myself. And sometimes you got to do pep talks. You got to have, you have to stand in the mirror and say, I know I'm better than this. I know I deserve better than this. So
I'm gonna shift gears and get real personal now. Okay. Was there ever a time when you had to walk away from a relationship that you really thought was going to be fruitful and good?
Of course, there was the one that got away. There was the one that got away, and I think many people may have had that, but you just thought that, after he was gone, I thought, did I make a mistake? Was that the one that got away? And then all of a sudden you fantasize and romanticize everything. Where I had an opportunity in my life, the one that I thought got away, probably 12 years down the road, he showed up again. And about a good 2 weeks to go, I know why he got away. I know why I let him go. But so there, I think that was
Boy, my lights went out.
Okay.
No, come on.
No, but that was funny because I tell her about that story. I said, y'all, when it's over, when God says it's over, and you have to learn to accept that. And I said, we don't want to do it, but there's something inside. And so in this case, even though I thought this person was just so fine, so cool, so everything, in my mind was saying, but he does not treat you like he values you. He's trying to control you. And so we broke up. But then how you start second guessing yourself. I'm like, oh, did I make a mistake? Was this the right thing? And girl, later, it took me about 2 weeks to go, I am so glad, so that I could finally realize you were not the one that got away. You were the one that needed to go.
I'm gonna give you I'm gonna give you the screen by yourself. And this is what I need for you to do. How would you encourage women to know they do not need a man in their life to be successful?
Okay. So let me just talk for a minute. And so I'm going to tell you, I know this is going to sound scary. Okay. This
Robert.
is going to going to sound scary, but sometimes you have to be still. And that's what I mean. I'm going to tell you, you have to be still. When I ended, before I met my current partner, and we've been together 20 years, I decided that I needed to spend some time with myself. And because I did not want to get into another relationship that did not work. And so, you know how God says sometimes you have to be still? I know it was 6 or 7 years. I did not date anyone. And I know some of y'all are going, whoa, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Did I have friends? Did I have male friends that I did things with? Yeah, we went to football games. We went, we'd have parties, we'd do things, but I did not get romantically involved with anybody. Now, did I flirt? Yeah, I flirt all the time. I would flirt, but I wasn't ready for, and because I had to work on things in myself. I had some goals that I wanted to do, that I want to achieve. I had 2 daughters that I was raising. I didn't want to bring other men in the house and introduce them to my daughters. And so I honestly went through that period. Now, did it have to be 6 or 7 years? No, it could have been 2 or 3. But you know what happened? When I got to the second year, I started I was okay. I was okay not having a man in my life. I was still doing things. My girlfriends and I went on trips. My girls and I went on trips. My girls and I went to Hawaii. We had a ball with my 2 daughters. I mean, I started realizing I was okay and that there were things I wanted to do, and I didn't have to take a back seat to anybody. I didn't have to put anybody first but my daughters, God, and me. And I start doing that. And so feeling better and better and better about myself. So by the time, and I tell you about this paper that I wrote down what I wanted and I folded up. By the time my current partner came into my life, I was ready. I was ready. I didn't have to have the tallest man in the world. I didn't have to have the finest man in the world, although I think my current partner is pretty good looking. But I didn't have to, have the man that had the most zillion dollars, but I wanted him, to be able to take care of himself. I didn't have to drive the fanciest car. We didn't, all these things that so many people think are necessary to have a great relationship. I didn't need it. So when he bought me the diamond ring, the big diamond ring, I could appreciate it, but I wasn't demanding it. I didn't think I had to have it for our relationship. When I got on the cruise, when we do things, they were things that I knew that I deserved, but things that I didn't feel like I had to have to make me feel good. So the first thing I'm going to tell you is be still. Is be still. Sometimes you need to spend some time with yourself to feel good about yourself. And I know that it can be hard. I had a friend that said, Deborah, I have never not been in a relationship. I was like, when do you spit? I don't. I said, well, but that's one of the things. That's why you keep going from relationship to relationship, because you haven't fixed what's wrong with you. And so those things keep coming up over and over. And so I tell people, I know it's tough, and I'm not telling you something that I offer you lightly, but I think you have to spend time with yourself. And that's not so. These are life lessons. This is not just about romance. I know we're talking about spending time with myself helped me relate better to everybody. It helped me relate better to my family. It helped me relate better to my friends. It helped me relate better in my romantic relationships, because once Deborah started getting grounded and with Deborah and feeling comfortable with herself, then she could be in a relationship. So I guess that, that's the first thing I'm going to tell you. And then every morning, and I tell people, I get up at 5,000 reps and I would go around the offices, but I would get up in the morning and my hair be standing all over my head, didn't have on makeup, need to brush my teeth, everything, get up and go to the bathroom. And I'd look in the mirror, and I'm not going to say it because we're on TV now, but I'd say, Dawn, you look good. And everybody would laugh. But I said, but let me tell you why that's important. If you don't love yourself, who's going to love you? And so I'm 68 years old, and I go to the mirror every morning and say, "Whoo, girl, you look good to be 68." And I'm telling you, and I do it not because I'm vain, but I do it because I need to tell myself that. Because if I walk outside the door and I run into a 28-year-old and she goes, "Hey, old lady," I need that voice in there saying, "Girl, you look good." Okay. And so you're not going to always have people. And so you have to learn to lift yourself up. And so I'm just telling you, that's an exercise. Go look in the mirror every morning and tell yourself how good you look.
Mhm. Well, you know what? I understand you're not married, but you're doing some
Okay.
amazing things. So now tell us, what are your plans right now? This point in your life, tell
Okay.
us what you're doing in your life right now.
Okay. So let me tell you this. And so I believe in the institution people have to make decisions about what's best for them.
Hmm.
My partner and I, between us, we have 4 children. He has 2 adult children. I have 2 adult children. We had both been married previously. And when we got together, of course, everybody was talking about, why don't you all get married? Why don't you all do this? But we were both mature. We were older, and we both had, worked and amassed things for ourselves and for our kids. And so, we went through that phase where we were like, want to get married. And then it was sort of like, maybe not. We both, been married. We don't want to go through a divorce, so let's not rush it. And so one year went by, 2 years went by, 3 years went by. I mean, all these years start going by, and we realized we loved each other, and we were committed. We were in it to win it. We were staying with each other through good, through bad, through whatever. And we didn't feel like we needed to get married. One of the things he's allowed me to do is fly. And so whatever I want to do, he's there. I mean, I have never felt so loved and supported in my life. And he does his own thing. He's been gone. Been in New York for the last 2 months. And so he's had things to do, but he allows me to fly. And so when I said I wanted to run for the office of county chair, he said, "Go, baby, go. What do you want me to do?" And he didn't even know what a county chair did. But he said, "If you Darolyn, I think you met him when I ran for mayor 2 years ago. He knows I'm very passionate about things. He knows my house is like, before the pandemic, is a revolving door. If you need it and I got it, you have it. If you got a problem and you need some place to stay, you can come over here. And he's never said, "Oh, no, no, no." He just says, "What do you need me to do?" And so he respects me for who I am. And so I ran for mayor in 2019. I ran this time, and I said, I really think that there are things undone and things that still aren't going right with the city. Now, this is the man who says, we've been to Europe, we've been to France, we went Italy, we travel all over. And this man, I know he won't, as soon as the pandemic is over, he wants to hit the road. But he knows that being mayor is important to me. So he said, "Okay, what do you need?" He loves my family. He takes us all, warts and all, my sisters, my brothers, my nephews. They all love him. And wait, this is the other thing. My nieces and nephews from my other marriage, they love him too. I mean, this is the man who says, "You had a life before me. And so I embrace you as you are with everything you bring to the table. So I mean, it's just I feel loved and supported. So I'm running for mayor again, and he said, "What do you need?" So now I can't hear you. I just lost you. The sound.
Okay, you can hear me now?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So you're running for mayor now, right? And that's your vision. How
Yes.
how can we help you with your vision? What kind of help do you need?
Okay. So I need you to share it. So tonight I'm doing something called Tuesday, but I believe that you have to be a servant leader. And for those of you who grew up in the church, we learn a lot about servant leadership. But I think servant leadership isn't just confined to the church, it's how we live. It is how we want to treat other people and how we want to be treated. And so one of the things I believe is that we need to make this city a city that all of us feel good about living in. It's not just for people that, have good jobs or a certain part of town. This city is for everybody. So what I need you to do, and listeners, if you believe in servant leadership and you believe about making opportunities available for all in the city of Fort Worth, I want you to join me. We need in the mayor's race, we have Darolyn, Dr. Brock, we have over 1 million people in the city of Fort Worth. In the last mayor's race, only 38,000 people voted. There are about 400,000 registered voters, and only 30. So people don't understand what local races, the impact they have on our lives. And we need to get people out to vote. I mean, if we can get, enough people out to vote, then I can change the way that how Fort Worth is run and how its citizens are treated. So I'm asking people, I have a website, Deborah Peoples for Mayor, DEBORAH Peoples, like my name on the screen.com. You can go, you can see my platform, you can see issues. It tells you how to volunteer, how to donate, all of those things. But it's about spreading the word and getting the word out. And that is why, listen, I love being on your show tonight, but I love talking about relationships. And because look at all this gray hair. Let me just tell y'all something. This is when you know you're loved. My hair started going gray, and I was like, oh, I gotta dye my hair, And one day he looked beautiful. I love you with gray hair. I said, well, I don't like it. I don't like it. It makes me look old. He said, it don't make you look old. It just makes you look better than me. You a silver fox. I said, oh, okay. Well, maybe I'll just keep the gray. But that's what I'm saying about relationships. You want a man or a woman, if you're a man listening, that makes you feel good about you. Okay, the minute somebody starts telling you, oh, you look kind of fat in that, then I wonder, do you really love me? You're looking at or an image of me, because I'm not always, when he met me, I had nice shiny black hair, and I didn't have so many wrinkles up here, and I was probably about 25 pounds lighter, and we were doing it, and then all of a sudden it started eking on. So yeah. So anyway, I'm running for mayor because I really feel like I can bring a lot to this city of Fort Worth. And I think I can set an example around the city, and I can create opportunities for Black businesses, for not only just Black businesses, but small businesses. I can help with infrastructure. There are so many things that I think I can do if I'm elected mayor, but you have to get elected first to be able to do that. And you saw tonight I did a thing about COVID, and I said leadership matters. And so COVID-19 is decimating our communities. I mean, I know, literally, I know at least 9 from COVID right here in Fort Worth. And then so many people that are in the hospital and are struggling. I know people who've lost their jobs. And, I know what is happening. I tell everybody, I've taken toilet paper and paper towels to so many different places and people are struggling. But we have leadership that didn't take it seriously at first. They weren't telling people, social distance, don't go places. We had leaders that were all on Facebook and in the middle of a pandemic, and they weren't wearing masks. What signal does that send to people? And so I believe I'd be good for the city of Fort Worth, but we need to get the word out.
Okay, so now I'm going to get a little bit more personal, okay?
Uh-huh.
All right. So as for women that are 60-ish,
Uh-huh.
and they've been divorced, but they still, and I'm going by some of the notes on here. So
Okay.
they really and truly want to be married, but for whatever reason, they found themselves in relationships where there's supposed to be a commitment, and there is, but the other individual, he kind of like does what he wants to when he wants to. And it's like, okay, I got to stay with him because there's nobody else out there my age. How would you speak to women over 60 that actually, everybody don't want to be married, but what if they do want to be married?
So I'm gonna tell you. So number one, if he doesn't want to get married and you want to get married, please don't stay there. Please do not stay there. I just told you. Look. Look, I am 60 telling you there are still men out there. Now I hope Rodney ain't listening to this because he's gonna say, I knew it. I knew he hit on you. I said, because I tell him, he say, I know he's hitting on you. I'm like, no, baby, he didn't hit on me. So please don't let Rodney be looking. But I'm telling you, women have to set value to themselves. And if you're in a relationship, all you're going to do is get older. So, you're 60 now. You're not going to do anything but get older. So why are you staying unhappy? Please let him go. There are other people in churches, go to the grocery store. I had a man hit me up the gas station. Stop limiting yourself. And I'm just going to tell you, there are people that get married every day that are 60, 65, 70. Look, I just went to the most beautiful wedding about a year ago to some friends of mine who got married. There is a name. You just have to stop wasting your time in a bad relationship. So don't let age should not dictate how you are treated and how you feel about something. Get out of it. You got to free yourself up for somebody else to see your value.
And I like how you said that because some younger women, and when I say younger women, right now I'm talking about 30, that's still young, right? So they look and they see women that are, in their 60s, and they are tolerating, more than what they should. And that's the only example that they have. That's the only example they have. So how would you be able to speak to, what I call older, mature women to at least model it or at least give wisdom? If they're going to make decisions that really wouldn't be good, at least tell the younger women that's watching, child, this ain't no good decision, and this is why I'm making it.
And so I just think people have to learn to be honest. So, I have known some women who say, baby, don't do what I do. Don't end up like I did. And we just have to be real and talk to people. And you're right. I tell people when I started talking to you, we started this broadcast, I said many times it's the way we've been taught. We've been said that we've been told you need to find you a man. You need to have you a husband. You need to do this. And so we internalize that, but sometimes we have to do real talk.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a girlfriend once that said, my mama said you might as well marry a pretty man as an ugly man, because I've been married, because you gonna take what off a man. You gonna take what off a man, so you might as well take it off a pretty one than an ugly one. And my girlfriend said for years she thought all she thought was she had to have a pretty man. It didn't matter that he treated her like dirt, but as long as he was a pretty man. And then one day she said, I looked in the mirror and I said, but I'm pretty too. And I said, yeah. I realized she was pretty and she could put it in perspective. She got out of a bad relationship. But we have to have real talk, because you're right. We have been many times people that we look up to, tell you about the girlfriend whose husband beat her, and she went back home, and her mother said, "You need to go on back home to your husband, because I have to take it." And so she lived in a relationship, an abusive relationship, where her husband hit her. So she sent her daughter back into an abusive relationship. And you want to go, that's all she had ever known. And so sometimes we don't always get the kind of support we need from certain places, but that's why we have to look to each other. So, yeah.
And I agree on that. I think as women, if you have some women in your life that they can just tell you, they see things that you don't see at first. Sometimes
Yeah.
you're so blind in love and everything, but your good girlfriend sees some stuff that you don't. And if they have your best interest at heart, take heed to it. They're
That's
not
right.
wanting to stop your relationship.
Yeah.
They just see some stuff going on that you don't see. And so I think as women, for us to come together and say, hey, you my girlfriend, I'm gonna tell you the truth. If you don't do it, we still gonna be friends. That ain't gonna stop
We
us.
still
But
gonna
I
love
need
you.
to tell you the truth. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
we
still gonna
still gonna
tell
love
you
you.
the truth.
Yes. So let me just tell you. So okay, watch it. I'm running for mayor, but that don't mean I don't give good relationship stuff. So it's for mayor.com. And you could go there and read things. You can ask me questions. If you said, if you send me a note later and say, Miss Peoples, I heard you say so and so, you come and I want to know how you feel about so and so. I will tell you, because I believe we have to help each other. And so, and I'm gonna tell you this last story, and then and then I'll turn it back to you. But when I had call centers, and I was in California, in one of my offices, I met a young woman, and when I tell you, physically beautiful, she looked like Lena Horne. I mean, and for those of you who don't know Lena Horne, go Google her. Okay, this young woman was the most beautiful young woman I think I have ever seen, and just so sweet. So one day we were in a meeting and I was talking, and all of a sudden she bust out crying and jumped up and ran out of the room. And I was like, is it something I said? What did I say? And the union steward, what anything you said. So later they came back to me and she brought the young woman back in, and she had her boyfriend was in jail. And so she had taken her paycheck to get him out of jail, and he was supposed to bring her back the money, and he didn't. So she was living in her car with her two children. And whatever I was talking about in that meeting, it just triggered it, and she ran out of there. And I sat down, and first I wanted to say like that. And then I said, no, this isn't about beauty. This is about value. And I sat there and talked to her for hours. And I said, you have two children. You have two children that are living in a car with you. You owe your children more than this. I mean, what you're modeling for them right now is how they will see the world and how they will choose to approach life. And so I'm not asking you to do this for yourself. I'm going to talk about that later. But right now, it's for your children, because somebody obviously modeled poor behavior for her. And so she was modeling, she didn't realize it, but she was modeling that same behavior for her children and saying, it's okay for somebody to treat you badly. And so I think of that often. I think of that a lot, is that it is the behavior that we model is what is how we allow people to treat us better. I mean, we gotta do better. And you're right about women lifting each other up.
I think that's a great attribute to actually not only be running for mayor, but actually to have that relationship expertise. I think
Hmm.
that's excellent. But I heard that you've got an event coming up. Can you
Yes.
tell us about the event?
Well, next Saturday we are going to be now it's socially distanced because I'm a big one about COVID and knowing that in communities of color. So we're going to do a socially distanced event where you can come and hear about my plans to be mayor of the city of Fort Worth. And I was looking right now for the address, so I'm gonna apologize, but it's in the Stop Six area, and somebody's pulling it up for me right now. But there it is. It's so we're gonna ask you to come. It's an outside event. There's lots of space. It's next Saturday from 12 to 3. I'll be there. You can ask me questions. And listen, I'll even be the relationship expert. You got a problem, come talk to me and we'll talk about it. Because I want to listen to you all, hear what your issues are, and so it's a great new location. It's the getaway spot at 3601 Tarrant Road. It's right off Berry Street. And so it's called the Getaway Spot, 3601 Tarrant Road. It's a small business owner. I want to patronize small businesses. And so please come out and meet me, hear what plans I have for the city of Fort Worth. And I might just tell you something that'll change your life.
Okay, I was making sure that they got a chance. I'm going to put it back on the screen just for a few
Okay.
more minutes, and then I'm going to come
Okay.
back to you.
Okay, well that's good. And so while you're putting that back on the screen, let me just tell you. And so I tell everybody, I love you. I love how you reach out to not just African American women, but women all over. It's about empowering each other and lifting each other up. And so this is what we need more of. When I was growing up, we didn't have the internet, but we didn't have, but more importantly, we didn't have people like you dispensing wisdom and giving us an opportunity to express ourselves. And so I am so grateful for you and the Darolyn Brock TV show, because I think it is important for us to see people who look like us dispensing wisdom tips to the world. So thank you for what you do.
I want to thank you so much for coming to the show. You've got a wealth of knowledge.
Okay.
I wanted to first of all let you know that you have my 100% support in being the mayor for
Thank
Fort
you.
Worth. I want to let you know that. And if there's anything that's within my power that I can do, as far as any volunteer services that I can, listen, Deborah, that I can do, anything that I can do,
Yes.
I'm willing to do that. But I do want to let you know that in the comments, when you get a chance to look at those, you do have quite a few people that are saying things that they would like to do. Deborah has so graciously
Okay.
told us about herself. And Deborah, peoplesformayor.com, you can actually go there and make donations to her
Yes.
campaign. She really and truly wants. I want to just let you know, go out and vote this time. But Deborah, I wanted to thank you
Yes.
so much. I'm going to give you final words, but thank you so much for just taking the time. I know you're busy, but just taking the time to even come before my audience. Thank you so much. I'm going to let you have the
No, well,
last word.
let me tell you, so often we as black Okay, and I hope that there are other women on there, but I'm gonna just say specifically for African American women, we are often not told how beautiful we are, how smart we are, how wonderful we are, and I think we have to lift each other up. We have to do that if we're gonna succeed. And I know that you have children and grandchildren, and what you are modeling for them is creating all these amazing possibilities. So thank you for pretty Chloe. Thank you for what she does. And it's just, so I have to tell everybody the first time I saw Dr. Brock, she was with these two beautiful little girls. And I said, "Oh, your daughters are fabulous." And she said, "No, these are my granddaughters." And I went, "Wow." I mean, it's the beauty that you radiate. You don't age. And so you have a beautiful family and you are raising your daughters and granddaughters to be a force in this world. And I'm grateful for that.
Thank you guys so much for actually joining. And as I close and segue into this, we just want to let you know that, first of all, you call the shots in your relationship. So if you're in a relationship with someone and you know it's not going the way that you want it to go, please just go ahead and you can walk away. If you are with someone and you're in that teaching process because they didn't have an example, so they don't really know how, but they're willing to learn, as long as they're willing to learn, hang in there with them as long as they are teachable. If you're in a relationship, somebody hitting you, child, leave as fast as you can. Get out of there just as fast as you can. So we're all about love. We're about marriage, and we are about relationships. I will see you guys next week. Good night.
Oh, that was wonderful. Thank you.
You hold on one second.
Okay.